Hi, first graders. We're on Knowledge 3, Lesson 9, Tselane. Our first word is roam. Say roam. Roam means to wander or travel around without a purpose or a plan. And the next one is intended. Say intended. Intended means you are planning or plan to do something. Once upon a time in the southern region of Africa, where the Bantu language is spoken, there lived a girl named Tselane. She lived with her mother and her father. The family lived in a little round house with a thatched roof. One day Tesselane's mother said, "I must go to the village for some things that we need. You may stay here, but be sure to keep the door locked. Watch out for the hungry leopards who roam the land." Tesselane's mother set out for the village. Tselane stayed at home by herself. Tselane had stayed home by herself before. Each time her mother would return and call out in her sweet, high voice that sounded like the song of a bird. "Tselane, my child," her mother would call from outside the door. "I have brought you some food. Open the door." "That is my mother's voice," Tselane would say. Her voice is high and sweet like the song of a bird. Each time Tselane would open the door and see her mother standing there. Her mother would always bring Tselane some bread and porridge. Tselane would then sit down and eat with her mother. One day when Tesselane's mother had gone to the village, Tselane heard a knock at the door. "Tselane, my child," said a gruff voice. "It's your mother. I have brought you some food. Open the door." "Not my mother's voice," said Tselane. "My mother's voice is high and sweet like the sound of a bird." "Go away, you wicked leopard." The leopard went away, but he came back soon after and tried to make his voice sound even more like a woman's voice. "Tselane, my child," said the leopard. "It's your mother. I have brought you some food. Open the door." "That is not my mother's voice," said Tselane. "My mother's voice is high and sweet like the song of a bird. Go away, you wicked leopard." The leopard went away. He came back, but this time he drank a special drink that made his voice higher to sound just like Tesselane's mother's voice. "Tselane, my child," said the leopard in a high womanly voice. "It's your mother. I have brought you some food. Open the door." "That's my mother's voice," said Tselane, high and sweet like the song of a bird. Tselane opened the door and saw the leopard. With a fright she tried to slam the door again, but it was too late. The leopard stuffed Tselane into a sack and carried her away, intending to take her back to his habitat on the savannah. After carrying the heavy bag for a while, the leopard stopped by a small stream. After traveling so far in the heat and carrying a heavy bag, he needed a cool drink. Rather than carry the heavy bag down the stream, the leopard left the bag on the side of the road, as he intended to be away for only a short moment. The leopard climbed down the hill to the stream to get a drink. As soon as he was gone, a little girl came walking down the road. Seeing the bag alongside the road, the little girl became curious and she peeped into the bag. She saw some fingers sticking up and quickly closed the bag. "Whose fingers are those?" she asked. "Mine," said a voice. "My name is Tselane. Please let me out. I am smothered here in this small hot space." "Tselane," said the girl. "Why, your mother is my aunt. She has been visiting here in the village." The little girl let Tselane out of the bag. Then she and Tselane ran to Tesselane's mother. When she heard what happened, Tesselane's mother filled the leopard's bag with scorpions and snakes. When he had finished getting his cool drink, the leopard came back to the road and grabbed the sack. Then he set off for his home. When the leopard arrived back at the savannah, he opened the bag, intending to start eating his tasty feast. But instead, angry snakes slithered out. Dozens of scorpions poured out of the bag, shaking their poisonous tails. The leopard put his great speed to work and darted or ran quickly across the savannah, never to bother Tselane or her family again. As for Tselane, she decided to always accompany her mother in the village and follow her mother's instructions. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Okay, you can go ahead and click on the Google form about today's Read Aloud Tselane.